Mic check, mic check. Is the stream live? It works good? Okay. Okay, so we have Kimi on the track. Luis. Mercedes leading the way so far, with both cars within, what's that, 2.5 tenths of each other. And for the most part, pretty much everyone is using the C3 tire, with the exception of Perez in the Cadillac. So he's the only one on track with the C1. Actually, is he on track? Yeah, he is. Hello, hello there. Yeah, Toto. Although I don't know, did you see his interview from, I think, the end of day one? I mean, he was moderately happy. I think he was really impressed with what Max and Red Bull managed to do on day one. So, and yesterday they did have their problems. Actually, Antonelli didn't run for too long, so yeah, Mercedes don't appear to be the bulletproof car that everyone expected them to be, but it's still early days, so we'll see. We will see. I'm actually really interested to see what Alpine are gonna do this season. So all throughout 2025, so they've been talking about this new engine from Mercedes, and you know, looking to challenge for the front rows and wins and championships. So we'll see what they'll do. Actually, who is in the car from Alpine? So that's Colapinto at the moment. Maybe we can add him side by side with the Mercedes of Antonelli. By the way, if you want any particular driver, Leclerc not drive today? No, so he drove. So he's done with his testing, and he drove the entire day yesterday. And today is Lewis in the car. So, so he's done until, I don't know if he's running next Wednesday, but yeah, for this week he's done. Dave up there hiding. Yeah, Mercedes have been always good at sandbagging. But Davok, you as an Italian, you should be happy. You have Kimi in P1 and you have Ferrari in P3. So sure thing, Mark. For everyone already on the stream, so thank you for joining. It's it's the first one, so for sure it's not gonna go seamless, but um, I'll take it on the chin. I'll learn, open for feedback, and I'm planning on streaming. Definitely not just the testing, but also once the season starts. So happy and open for feedback. So thank you for joining me. Hi, bro. Hello, hello. Good to have you with us. So I'm actually looking at what is the gap between the Mercedes and Hamilton? It's not that big, is it? It's half a second. Do we think this is going to be the year of Ferrari? Seems to be every year. I am, yes, but prefer if Ferrari wins something. Last time I was 20. Yeah, I don't know. I think I was responding to a comment on one of the videos recently, and I was saying that Ferrari, obviously, we believe that they're so successful, and they are, but the last champion they have, his name is Kimi, and it's not Antonelli. So it's Kimi Raikkonen back in 2007 was the last World Driver Championship they had. So I think for the good of the sport, we all hope Ferrari to do well, but let's see. So we have Piastri. So let's go with him on board. Let's see what McLaren will have in store for us. So this is... So he's 3/10 off the pace of the Ferrari so far. We have the Audi. Did you hear the kind of post-testing interviews that they were saying that the Audi is by far the loudest car on the grid? It reminds me of a few years ago when I was still into GT3 racing. I went to see when DTM used to run the Spec 1, was it called? Not the GT3s they have today, well, tuned up GT3s, but back in the day when they had the Spec 1, the Audis were, when we had Audi, Mercedes and BMW, the three manufacturers, Audi were by far the loudest in saying that V10 sound. And seems like they've brought that sound, well, not the same, but they brought some good sound into Formula One. Who do you think will dominate in 2026? Adrian, I think it's early days. I don't think that any of the teams is showing their real hand so far in testing. If the rumors about the Mercedes engine to be so strong are true, then you can definitely not count Mercedes nor McLaren out. Obviously, McLaren won 2 championships in a row, so I don't know. I just hope that it's not going to be a dominance like we saw back in 2014. I just hope that it's going to be close between a multiple engine manufacturers. So at least we'll have a good season ahead of us. I've heard rumors of Horner joining Ferrari. Maybe that is the chance we have to win something. I don't know. I mean, I watched an interview with him, I think it was last week, and he was saying that he would love to come back into the sport, but he also said that he doesn't want to come back as a team principal or anything like that. So I don't know. Maybe he'll just become a shareholder in one of the teams. I don't know, but yeah. I mean, I think Ferrari will do well if they can get Christian, but I don't think he's interested in a team principal role. Also in GT3, Audi is by far the loudest. Well, yeah, I mean, they are Audi and Lamborghini, they're the ones running the V10s, right? They're still running V10s, I suppose. That certainly helps. Just looking at some of the graphs we have here. So Russell is in the pits. I wonder why we don't have Red Bull on track. Okay. As a Max fan, I hope he will dominate again in 2026. Yeah. So did you hear his latest on the 2026 cars? So he's not too happy with them. Actually, he was saying they don't feel like proper Formula One. So I don't know. I don't know. When I've been in Brands Hatch, Lambo is loud, but Audi way more. Okay. Okay. So I have not heard the current gen GT3s, but okay, good to know. So Audi still has it. Oh, so they are showing Red Bull with the nose and the front wing off. So yeah, there is some work on the car. Max will adapt quickly. Um, I'm sure. I'm sure if Red Bull have a strong car, Max will be up there. Whether he likes the car or not, one thing you cannot deny: Max knows how to drive a car fast. So yeah, if Red Bull and Ford deliver a good car, then he'll be up there. Actually, I was super impressed with Max last year. It's I know he didn't win the championship, and it was just 2 points at the end, but I think he drove absolutely incredibly. He had the most pole positions, the most wins, and if you think how dominant the McLaren were, especially the first half of the season, I think Max had an incredible season just to get that close to the championship. Checo is back in the garage as well. So how many cars we have running at the moment? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars on track at the moment. Williams. We have Albon. So far, I'm actually a little bit disappointed with Williams. I think, given their focus or lack of focus on the 2025 car, I thought that I thought that they will hit the ground running in 2026, but so far they have been under the radar. So we'll see. Still early days, it's just testing, but So Lewis is doing just like Leclerc did yesterday. So he's doing race stints. I think Ferrari look actually quite impressive considering they're on a long run. They just keep running, no issues, and the pace is pretty good. So he's still running in the, was that 30, 36, 37, what's his last lap? 37. Yeah, so he's still running in the 37s. They came late in Barcelona, if I'm correct. You mean Williams? They actually never made it to the Barcelona test. They completely skipped it. So this is my point. I expected them just to be ready with the car and just, kind of just to hit the new season, but that wasn't the case. So yeah, they completely missed Barcelona, the shakedown. Do you think Audi can be a title contender? I Honestly, I don't know. I think Audi will be probably one of the most interesting teams to watch because a lot of the other teams, if you think about it, they have at least two teams with the same engine. You have Racing Bulls with Red Bull, then you have the Ferrari, the Haas, Cadillac, right? So you have multiple teams sharing the same engine, which also means that they have a lot of data that they can share between each other. So I think Audi are basically on their own. So I think that'll be super interesting to see what they can do. If they can be a title contender, I don't know. I mean, in Formula One, usually, miracles like that don't happen. If you think Braun back in 2009, it did happen, but they were not a new team. So I don't know. I sure hope so. I think it will spice things up if they are. But my gut feeling says probably not in 2026. Yeah, so Hamilton continues his long run and he's still running in the 37s. So actually, how many laps he has done? So he has a total of 138 laps. So second most after Piastri. Been a busy day for both of them. Actually, let's put Hamilton back on the telemetry together with Piastri. If you want to see another driver on the telemetry, just let me know so I can just swap them very quickly. By the way, chat, how do you like the look of the new cars? I'm not talking about the liveries because I'm actually thinking maybe I should do a video on that. I have strong opinions on the liveries, but how do you like the new cars? The shape, the proportions compared to the last generation, the 2022 to 2025 cars? Sorry, bro, if I ask a lot of questions. Oh, no worries. Please do. The whole point of this is just to watch along, so for us to share the love for Formula One. So go ahead and ask questions. That's what we're here for. Um, They look better than last year from Daewoo. Okay. They seem more nimble too. Uh, so Oscar just went to the pits and he finished his stint, and that's almost 3 Bahrain Grand Prix. So Oscar definitely put the work today. An impressive running by McLaren. On the cars for 26, yeah, I agree with you, Davok. I also think that they are looking much better. I just think the proportions are much better. They have shorter wheelbase, just narrow. I think the cars for the last few years, they just became too big. So I really, really like the current generation of cars. I think they look awesome. I'm not sure about some of the liveries. That's a different story. I think the cars themselves look mega. I love them. And they sound louder, so I think that's a win-win. Yo, what's up? I love your videos. Thank you. Thank you and welcome to the stream. Yeah, I didn't even advertise this stream too much. I just a bit incognito under the radar. I just wanted to set up one just to see how it's gonna look, and obviously next week I'm also planning to do the 3 days testing. So yeah, but yeah, welcome. Good to have you with us. So who do we want to see out in the telemetry? Let's see the Hulk. Oh, and we have Red Bull on track. Finally. Actually, let's do that. Let's put... why is the telemetry not showing up for Haja? He has been really unlucky so far, Haja. Obviously, he had the crash in Barcelona, so he had limited running, and every time it's his turn to be in the car during this Bahrain testing so far, the car has had problems. So he's definitely a bit of on the back foot. So I'm sure he's hoping for a better next week testing for the 3 days. Is he showing? That's weird because he's not. I think that he may have problem with his transponder because he's definitely on track, but he's not shown on the track map. And as I said, that he actually is back into the pits. So there is that. Looks like that Red Bull is still not happy. And he drove through the Mercedes garage. Well done. Don't need that. So not many cars are still running, unfortunately. Are you, chat, how do you find the new regs for the 2026 season with regards to all these, the boost button and um, the new aero? I mean, it's no longer DRS, even though technically reduces drag. Obviously, we can't call it DRS. But what do you think? I was actually thinking, I've been getting comments on on some of my videos that obviously, you know, like the drivers these days are just adjusting too many things on the wheel and pushing too many buttons. And to be fair, how when I'm driving, obviously these cars last year they didn't have to change um, the deployment mode as much as I'm doing it. But I feel like actually in 2026 they'll be pressing buttons just as I'm doing in my videos. So I don't know. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how the different drivers adapt to the whole situation. But what do you think? Do you find these new changes they will improve racing or not? Oof, Lewis sliding around out of turn 14. I always laugh when I see Ferrari Tifosi hoping their team wins the race. I love your videos. Thank you. And thank you for joining the stream. Good to have you with us. So Lewis is back on what tire he's... Um, okay, so he's on the C2 tire. The Hulk is no longer running, so who do we want to put? Let's put Albon. Well, let's see this year. I assume you're talking about Ferrari? I have to say though, the Ferrari livery is definitely my favorite. I think when they announced it, I was not that I'm not necessarily happy with it because obviously I was, but I think that when I saw it in action, actually it looks really, really nice. Whereas some of the other liveries are, they looked great when they rendered those pictures, but actually when you see them on track, at least on telly, I haven't seen them live, but yeah, they don't look as impressive. And Ferrari seems to be the opposite. I also like that they've went away a little bit from this matte red kind of color. I think this one pops more, so I like it more. Sorry, bro, I have to go. Have a nice day. Thank you. And have a lovely day yourself as well. And thank you for joining. Oh, we have Cadillac on track. So let's swap Hamilton for, where is Checo? I'm curious to see what Cadillac are gonna do this year. Oof. That was not the best turn 11. And wide into turn 12. Looks like a handful, and they keep locking on the brakes with the Cadillac, so I don't know. I've seen them locking way too many times. Love the livery. I think with the Cadillac are the best looking. Ferrari and Cadillac, you mean? Yeah, they're definitely two of my favorites. I really liked the Red Bull. I think when we saw the pictures, when all of the teams are being announced, actually I like the Red Bull the most, but now seeing it on track, I'm not so sure anymore. I just think this blue is too dark. And it's not because Bahrain is under the floodlights, because in Barcelona it was even worse. It looked even darker. So yeah, I don't know. It looked so beautiful on those pictures, but yeah, on track, not so much. I do like the Haas a lot. It's really nice as well. Hulkenberg, where is he? He's on an Outlaw P10. What is his gap? Oh, Lewis is off the track. Yellow flag. And that's a red flag. Let's see what happened. Did he just go out, or there is a car problem? Yeah, it just looks like a car problem. Hmm. So still overall good running. So yesterday they did what, over 170 laps, and today Lewis did over 150. So still pretty good running. Let's just see what the problem with the Ferraris. I wonder, because he wasn't even pushing when he... Hmm, interesting. I just wonder if this is the end of the testing day. Most likely it will be. Yeah, so the clock keeps ticking down and there's only 8 minutes, so I don't think that we'll see any more action on track. I think this is it for this week. So at the end of the day, we do have Mercedes 1 and 2. Starting with a reliable car is a good start for Ferrari. Yeah, definitely. I think given how many laps they managed to complete yesterday and today, and this, to be fair, just looking at the replay, it didn't look like some major issue. It could be actually something as simple as running it out of fuel. I don't know. But there was didn't sound like an issue with the gearbox or engine. So yeah, Ferrari definitely have the reliability. So far, it looks like McLaren and Ferrari actually have had the strongest, not in terms of pure pace, but in terms of reliability and overall pace. Seems like those are the two teams that have had the best 3 days of testing. Max had an incredible day one, but they've been struggling afterwards. So they'll be doing virtual safety car testing now. I guess FIA is just testing the procedures. By the way, how is the sound quality? Is it too loud? Is it too quiet? Just so I know for the future streams, the feedback will be useful. Okay, so back to red flag. So FIA definitely testing the different procedures. A bit louder won't hurt. Okay, thank you. I mean, I can bring the microphone a bit closer even, but okay, good to know. Thank you. So they're all queuing up at the pit lane exit. I wonder if they were just practicing race starts. Assume yes. Okay, so Checo does have some issue. And Haja again cannot get out. Yeah. His bad luck continues. What's your prediction for the season? Top three. Do you mean drivers or teams? I assume drivers. Both. Drivers. That's a tough one. I definitely think George is gonna mount a challenge this year. So top three, I would say Russell, Max, and probably Lando. The top three. I don't know um, in which order. So I don't know who's gonna be the champ. And again, obviously, we just don't know. So we shall see. I think if you ask me that question after the or during the qualifying session in Melbourne, I think we'll probably know more. But at the moment, I would say Russell, Max, and Lando. And with regards to the teams, well, yeah, I guess Mercedes, McLaren, and Red Bull. Although I don't know, I'll be curious to see what Hadja is gonna do. So the last few seasons, the second Red Bull car has not been very successful. So we shall see. Hopefully, for their sake, he'll have a better time. But yeah, if it's again Max scoring all of the points for Red Bull, they may not be in the top three. And who do you think are going to be the top three, Davok? Okay, so they're practicing extra formation lap now. Max, Piastri, Leclerc. Okay. And McLaren, Ferrari, Red Bull. Oh, you don't see Mercedes. Okay, interesting. We'll see. I think Mercedes will be up there, but yeah, it's too early days. One thing is for sure, I cannot wait for the season opener. It's what is it today? The 13th. So 3 weeks. Not much to go now. Can't wait. I just don't like Russell. I think he did an improvement last season, but not a World Championship driver. Um, and Antonelli is still a bit rookie for to bring Mercedes at the top, but we'll see. Oh my God, Colapinto almost crashed. Um, yeah, so they're practicing race start. He almost crashed just trying to park the car, get ready for the race start. But yeah, so I don't know. I think Russell last season had a pretty good season. Obviously, Mercedes did struggle, but he was strong. So the race start procedure test did not go according to plan. 4 cars barely moved off the line, and 1 car almost crashed. Piastri, if it's not stopped again from McLaren, he has a good chance. I don't know. Look, I like Piastri and if I was to choose between Piastri and Lando, probably out of like Oscar to win, I don't know, but I think Lando deserved it more overall. I think there is a lot of speculation with regards to McLaren kind of sabotage him and this and that, but I don't think so. I think that he just I think after the Baku race, Oscar just kind of he lost his form, and then if you look at historically the last seasons, those tracks where he struggled in 2025, he also struggled in 2024. So it's just one of those things that oh my God, Colapinto. So he was trying to warm up the tires and he almost crashed. It reminds me of my video of Imola last season. I almost crashed as well. But yeah, so um, sorry, I just keep rewatching Colapinto almost crashing. But yeah, so I think Oscar, look, compared to Lando, obviously he has a lot less years into Formula One, so a lot less experience. He had an incredible first half of the season, and those were tracks that he's definitely strong on. But as soon as kind of we went into kind of these more obscure tracks, he really struggled. So I don't know. Maybe this year he'll be stronger, but I don't think that McLaren prioritized Lando over Oscar. Maybe towards the end, but I think he started struggling when he was still in the lead, so there was just no need for McLaren to be prioritizing Lando. So I don't know. We shall see what 26 brings, but also he's what 3 years now into Formula One, so he's still doing great. Lando deserved more, but Oscar is cold when driving. He will win soon. Yeah, I think so too. I definitely think that Oscar is gonna win a championship. Um, but last year, to be fair, between both of them, I think Lando deserved it more last year. But if you ask me which driver deserved the championship last year, hands down, it's Max, in my opinion. I think he was the strongest driver. Okay, so officially, the Bahrain testing is done for this week. So we have Mercedes 1 and 2, Ferrari 3, then we have Piastri, the 2 Red Bulls. Then we have Ocon, Colapinto, Behrman, and Audi with Hulkenberg rounding up the top 10. So interesting testing. I'm also curious to see what's going to happen next week. Some of the teams are going to bring updates already. I mean, some of them already brought updates even today. But I think next week we'll see some more upgrades to most of the teams, if not all of the teams. So I think it's going to be interesting to watch next week. Aston is delusional. um, to be fair, they're not actually. If you watched interview with Adrian Newey, so he was actually saying that 2020. I think he already kind of shattered the dreams of Aston Martin's fans because he said that 2026 is not going to be a year for winning, but like a building. So I think they're looking further down the line for potentially kind of winning races in championships. But yeah, I think 2026 will be a tough year for them, at least based on what we've seen so far. I rephrased it. Stroll is delusional. Do you mean Stroll junior or senior? Senior for letting his son drive in F1. Um, I mean, as a father myself, I can't blame him. I'll do anything for my son as well. I think the funny thing with the Stroll situation is that if you if you watch any of Lance's interviews from the past maybe couple of years, he doesn't seem happy to be in Formula One. Um, so it almost feels like someone is forcing him to be there. Obviously, it's not the case, but it's just his lack of enthusiasm and kind of passion for the sport and for the races, and the fact that he's only one of 20 this year, 22 people in the world that actually get to do that. So I don't know. I find that very kind of strange, but obviously his father supporting him again. I can't blame him. Uh, if I was a billionaire, I'd probably, if I had a chance, I would put my son into the Formula One car as well. But yeah, I think that he should just enjoy it. Again, very few people in the world get to do that, what he does. So definitely doesn't seem happy to be driving Formula One car. And I would do anything just to drive one, even for one day. Never mind competing in it. So they're running the post show at the moment. Just see if there is some interesting interview. By the way, I mean, obviously we have people from kind of different countries, but do you generally watch Formula One on the F1 TV app, or you're watching on a local TV broadcaster, depending on the country you're from? It'll be interesting to see next round of testing to see if the pecking order will change at all, or the teams that had a strong showing this time around, they'll repeat it. On streaming, I suppose that's the answer to my question about where to watch F1. Okay. I mean, actually, I have a lot of friends who are only watching the highlights after the races on the F1 YouTube channel, essentially. So they're, about 10 minutes? So a lot of people just consume, and the more casual fans, obviously, yeah. So they just consume it based on the highlights on the YouTube channel. Yeah, so they're talking about Cadillac's issues pretty much since day one, which again is normal. It's a brand new team. The one thing is strange is from what I noticed is I don't know if something has changed in terms of the launch procedure for these cars, but there is a lot of cars and drivers that are struggling to get it off the line with the race starts practice, but as well as just getting it off the pit lane. A lot of drivers seems to be struggling. So I don't know. I have to check. Obviously, it's a brand new engine, but I wonder if something also has changed in the launch procedure. Yeah, I can say expect a lot of memes from the last few seconds of this session with the race start test and Colapinto nearly binning it. I'm sure a lot of thumbnails will appear. Devok, you're talking about Aston Martin being delusional. Actually, they're interviewing Pedro de la Rosa at the moment about Aston's kind of performance. They're talking about the cars being just a few seconds off the pace of last year, which actually is a pretty good. It's a pretty good kind of foundation for these new generations of cars. Obviously, they will only get faster from here once the engineers start finding loopholes and just to kind of exploit the rules. Yeah. I think we're in for a good, well, I hope, let's touch wood, but we are in for a good season and, a few seasons with this current reg, so things are looking good for us Formula One fans. Yeah, watching. Okay, I think we can end it here. Thank you to everybody who showed up. As I said, I did it a bit incognito just to test things around. I definitely planning on streaming next week as well during the testing. But yeah, thank you all for joining. good to have a bit of a different way of interacting with you rather than just comments. But yeah, I wish you all a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Thank you.